What's up, good peoples? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Somebody let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can hear me. And let me know you can see me. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can see me. Man, man. So y'all can't hear me, y'all can see me. All right. It's good, it's good, it's good. Well, let's get right into it, man. I'm gonna get right into it because I'm kind of sleepy. I probably can see it in my face and hear it in my voice. I'm kind of sleepy. I just got home from work, so uh, let's get on into it. And for those of you who are subscribers on the website, I will put it up on the website a little bit later. So you probably be getting the email saying I put up a post or whatnot. And appreciate all of y'all who's coming over here commenting and so let me know that you're there, man. I really appreciate that. If we can get more of y'all there, I think it will help it grow a little bit more because people who come and visit it, they can see that we all are interacting with each other under them posts. And, and some people are like, okay, this is a pretty cool site. You got some pretty good people that come in on there. And again, I know y'all not gonna catch every post. Y'all might not gonna be able to comment on every post, but come on over there sometimes and say something. All right. So yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. All right, guys. So y'all know I did a video about this, and man, this just crazy. I just don't get the mindset of a lot of people. And again, children got to witness stuff like this. I feel like they be getting put in situations that they don't need to be in, don't need to be a part of. They just get put in situations. I can only imagine what it's like to be a child and to watch your parent or parents get killed in front of you. I can only imagine seeing that. How they make it traumatize somebody. Okay? I can just only imagine that. Matter of fact, a grown ass man now, I'm 43 years old. Seeing something like that happen in front of my face, probably now would probably still fuck me up. Okay? So, for those who don't know about the story, let me see if I can catch you up and give you a brief breakdown of what's going on. All right, so these two, Ajika, and the lady name is Susan. For what the story been put out there, these two been feuding for quite some time. And the story also is putting out there that Susan has been complaining about Ajika's children for the longest, What she was complaining about, I had no idea. I don't know. But apparently something was going on for her to keep complaining, which kept them two beefing and whatnot. Then as I read on, the police has been called out there several times, I guess, to defuse what's going on between the two. All right. So with all that said and done, what led us up to where we are now? That Ajika goes over there and she gets shot and killed. Not only that, what it appears that she took her son over there with her, which could have been two deaths. Thank God he didn't die. Not saying I wanted her to die, but thank God he didn't get shot and killed. But still, tragic incident still took place. He should not never been there. If you ask me now, he should never been there. If you two grown men or two grown women, y'all gonna settle some differences or whatnot. I don't think you need to bring the children with you. Again, I told y'all this story reminds me of the story I did about the guy probably a couple weeks ago. The kids were playing hide go seek. He claimed he thought somebody was trying to break in his house or something. He ended up shooting the baby girl, but she survived. Thank God for that. Then this also reminds me of the story, if y'all can remember, I did a story about a 10-year-old who got in the middle of grown women issues, but it wasn't the 10-year-old mama that shot the other woman. It was the 10-year-old that shot the woman, you know? So please understand when I say that the child, I feel like he shouldn't have been there at all. She should have told him to stand back. Mama got it. All right? That's just my opinion. Now, everybody might not think the same. But when it gets that deep, you know, and the way people do children nowadays, the way they bully them and treat them and just say all kind of nasty things to them, you know, at that point, you know, your kid need to stay away from that side. You know, that's just me. Now, I don't know how many agree with y'all, agree with me. I don't know how many of y'all disagree. I don't know, but I just feel like he shouldn't have been there in the first place. That's something that she should have handled without him coming over there. And then we're going to get my analysis and my thoughts as I listen. Or as we listen, as we listen, all right? And if you haven't, please hit that thumbs up for your boy. And thank you for coming. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
In Ocala this morning, a woman is under arrest days after she shot and killed her neighbor through her front door.
Now, the woman told deputies she fired at the mom of 4 in self-defense, but the sheriff says it's just not the case. And Regina Gonzalez is following the latest she's in the newsroom with all of this. Good morning, Regina.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, deputies are saying this was not a stand your ground case, but a tragic ending to a nearly 2-year-long feud between these neighbors. Ajika Owens, who also goes by AJ, leaves behind 4 young children, and one of them was right beside her when she was shot while trying to approach this neighbor about another incident. The neighbor accused of pulling the trigger was officially identified as 58-year-old Susan Lorincz. She was officially arrested yesterday on charges of manslaughter with a firearm, culpable negligence, battery, and assault. This is footage of that arrest. On the day of the shooting, reports said Lorincz was overheard yelling and arguing with AJ's children who were playing in a nearby field and then threw a rollerblade skate at the 9-year-old son, which hit him in his toe. When the boy and his brother went to talk to Lorincz about what happened, she then opened the door and swung an umbrella at them. After AJ went over to Lorintz's house to confront her about the allegations, deputies said Lorincz fired 1 shot through her closed front door and struck AJ in the chest. She later died at the hospital. Now, the days after the shooting, family and community members held rallies and vigils and endlessly called the sheriff's department, pleading for them to arrest Lorincz. Sheriff Billy Woods actually admitted that they wanted to arrest her the night this happened, but had to follow proper protocol in regards to Florida's stand your ground law.
A lot of people don't understand is that law has specific instructions for us in law enforcement. And any time that we think or perceive or believe that that may come into play, we cannot make an arrest. The law specifically says that. And what we have to rule out is whether the deadly force was justified or not before we can even make the arrest. And sometimes it becomes difficult, and sometimes it becomes an obstacle.
Now, records show that 911 had been called a half a dozen times since 2021 involving Lorincz and AJ Owens. In one case in February of 2022, the neighbor called 911 to file a complaint against AJ because a dog was on her property. The neighbor told deputies that she and AJ got into an argument and AJ allegedly threw a no trespassing sign at her, but there was actually no physical contact. Now, in a news release earlier this week, prominent civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, who was representing AJ's family, said Lorincz told the kids to get off of her land and previously hurled racial slurs at them, but deputies have yet to confirm that information. Crump will actually hold a press conference regarding the arrest today at noon.
Okay, all right. Regina Gonzalez, live for us this morning. Thank you, Regina.
Old Benjamin Crump. Old Benjamin Crump. I don't know exactly what Benjamin Crump. I had an opportunity to get him on the show a long time ago, but it never happened. I didn't pursue it, but I did reach out to him, and he told me to speak with his, I guess, public relation person, and we would have set it up, but I didn't push forward with it. I don't know. It just seemed like to me he only take cases where there's involving white and black. He don't. It don't seem like he take cases where it's just involving blacks. Period. Meaning, what I speak about is black children. When it's black on black, I don't recall ever seeing him taking on a case when it's black on black. But when it's about a white involved, he will take on a case, and I don't want to stand there. Maybe it's a pro-black thing, or I don't know, but. I'm kind of not surprised he's on the case. I'm not. But however, though, that's not the topic right there. Here's what you got. Now, this sounds familiar. Let me tell you why. I can remember growing up, again, where our folks and grandfolks and great-grandfolks only told us to go so far when we outside playing. All right? They tell us, don't you go as far as the end of the driveway. You go no further than that. You go any further than that, it's going to be consequences. They would tell you don't go in the next door neighbor's yard because for whatever reason, they don't get along or whatnot. They don't get along. They tell you don't you step foot over there because y'all don't get along. You stay in your yard. How many of y'all remember that? I know I do. I can hear my grandma's voice right now. She would tell you to stay in your yard because, she don't want to be dealing with every day, have to argue with some fool who stay across the street or some fool that stay next door, when she could rectify the situation, say, hey, you mind your own business, you stay in your own front yard, and you stay in your own backyard. Don't go over there near that woman, don't go nowhere near that man, because I don't want to have to whoop somebody's ass, all right? And those the exact words that they will use, okay? And what we would do, we would stay in our yard. Now, sometimes we would think grandma or daddy and mama ain't looking. What we'd do, we'd try to sneak over there to be fucking with them. We'd do it. But just because we don't think that grandma and daddy them ain't looking, don't mean that the neighbor who yard that we in, that they not looking. They looking and they just waiting for a chance to say something. You got a lot of people who harbor on stuff and they take the slightest thing and get a grip on it and just have a grudge or a hatred for no reason whatsoever. All right, and which just sound like what went on with this woman. And I'm not going to say she had hatred for no reason, but the thing of the matter is, every chance it sounded like that she got, she instigated something. And for what the story is being told, these children were really nowhere near her. They was minding their own business and playing like children do. All right? But she gets upset anyway and just had to say something. How many of y'all got somebody in y'all family member that does that, you be mind your own business or have your own conversation? You don't even be talking to this person, but they just got to be an asshole and say something. I'm sure we all got somebody in our family like that or had a friend or a family like that. They always got to insert themselves in shit and got to be a dick about it. And you got to be like, man, I wasn't even talking to you. How many of y'all got somebody who do that? Or know somebody that do that? You weren't even talking to them. You weren't bothering them. You weren't even over there on their side of the house. You weren't even over their side of the yard. But they just got to come in and say something and don't even know what the fuck you talking about. And y'all get into it a lot of times because they button in and try to be arrogant as if they know what the hell going on and don't know what the fuck is going on. I see a lot of it on YouTube. People talk about shit, don't know what the fuck going on. But because somebody else said it makes it true. How you know? You ain't never been around me. You ain't never been in my house. You never spent the night in my house. All right? We never went to no move. Never hung out. Hell, you ain't never slept in my bed. We ain't fucking did nothing. So how the fuck you know that this is true? You don't even know me. You never been around me. Because somebody else says that makes it true? No, we passed them days. Maybe we was children, that shit will work. But as an adult, let me see how that saying goes. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Is it believe nothing what you hear and half of what you see? Did I say that right? I think that's how it goes. Or is it believe half what you hear or all that you see? Some shit like that. It's something like that. You know, I might be saying that wrong. But one of them things, you know, that's why they call it hearsay. Hearsay. Because you don't know it's the truth. All right? Even if it's somebody that you don't like or you just don't too much just care for. Just because somebody says it does not necessarily make it true. Okay? Just like the lady said right there. She said that they claimed that she made racial slurs. Right now, she said they had no proof of that yet. But I guess in due time, when the story goes along, they're going to find out if she was making these racial slurs or not. And I'm going to tell you something what this story remind me of, too. How many of y'all seen that movie called Crooklyn? How many of y'all seen that movie called Crooklyn? That's one of my favorite movies, Crooklyn. And if you remember one part of the story, I think it was coming to the end, where the white guy who had all them cats in the house was kept trying to tell the black couple that their children doing X, Y, and Z. And I remember at the end of the movie, she said, come to find out that was true, that they was doing it. And then he said they doing something else. She was like, no, it's not true. But she finally come to realize that they was doing that what the man claimed that they was doing. Okay? But again, it was one of them situations that since it's our children, we're going to believe our children over the person who's making the accusation. And I understand that. Because in our minds, our children don't do that. Amen? In our minds, our children don't do that. Remember I did the story the other day. I know my child would do nothing like that. Yeah, your child will do something like that. They would. Only reason you say that because you haven't caught them doing it. You haven't caught them doing it, so you're gonna go by hearsay and gonna say I don't believe that they did this, which is understandable because it's hearsay, and you did not see it for yourself. All right, amen. Am I on the right track? Am I on the right track? All right. It's hearsay. Same thing with this lady. No, it's hearsay. You know, and I'm not saying she didn't throw out racial slurs. She probably did. She probably said some nasty stuff to them. Nasty stuff. But we won't know till the facts and the evidence come out. And then y'all just heard that the police had been out there several times. Well, what did y'all do when y'all went out there when all this shit was going on? What did y'all say? What did y'all do? Did y'all try to come up with some kind of plan where they don't have to just really engage with each other no more? I mean, you know, when y'all came out there, you know, what did y'all say to them? And I would like to know what the reports said when y'all came out there. What was y'all reports saying? You know, I find that I would like to hear that and hear y'all speak on that, because I got a feeling that those reports is going to be quite interesting with some of the things that they may have told y'all what was going on. All right. Okay. But still, at the end of the day, guys, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying any of this was right. None of it was right. You know, I think Adjika probably just said, fuck this woman, ignore her, and just told her kids, don't go nowhere where she can see you. Stay in her blind spot. Y'all stay right here, play right here. Don't go nowhere where she can see you, because I'm tired of this motherfucker. You know, she could have did that. And if they later started fucking with him then Adjika would have had a case, you know. Okay, now my kids ain't nowhere near you, man. Now I know you fucking with my kids now because they nowhere over there in your yard. Now I know you fucking with them now. Okay? So, wow. That's crazy. I said a mouthful, you know. Anybody disagree? I said a mouthful right there. I said a mouthful. And again, I can speak on this because the type of grandmother that I had. Okay? The type of grandmother that I had. I can speak on a lot of this stuff. And, hey, stay where your ass is at. Don't go nowhere else. Stay where you at. Okay? Stay where you at. Fear the Neighbor was one of my favorite shows they showed on ID. I love that show. That's some scary shit. Just like the show used to come on called Web of Lies. That's some scary shit. That's some scary shit. Okay? And when I got cable, that was the only channel I watched was ID. I didn't watch shit else. Unless it was football season, I watched football. But that's why I don't have cable, because that was the only thing I watched. That my TV would be on ID all damn day. It been all damn day. I don't watch shit else. That's my channel right there. But I think they got them on these sticks or fire sticks or some of these TVs now. You can, I guess, get a subscription to. You can watch all this stuff. I think you can, you know. But anyway, guys, let's continue. Let's continue.
My name is Anthony Thomas. I represent, along with Mr. Benjamin Crump, the family in this matter. We want to make sure that we get the answers for the family, but we want an arrest right now. There are many questions out there that we have. We all are feeling as if there is some shade, or we're being left in the dark for some reason where these answers haven't been met. And so we want to get to that. But before we get to that, we need an arrest. Make no mistake about it, we do support our sheriff. But at the same time, we want him to do the job that he has promised that he would do, and we want swift justice. And that comes first with an arrest. He needs probable cause. That's what he's told me. So at this time, if there are members of the press who would like to ask questions, I will be answering on behalf of the family. Certainly, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, I know you have 1,000,001 questions to ask. But right now, we just want to make sure that we send the message and that we stand in solidarity today. I'm glad our members of the clergy are here today. To stand in solidarity on behalf of this family, these children who've lost their mother in cold blood. We need answers. We need an arrest. Thank you.
We didn't really get a very complete account. You got our city councilman here. What is he saying? He's not representing.
I'm sorry. The gentleman in the front is asking a question.
We didn't really get a very complete account from the sheriff of what may have happened. He apparently wants to do more interviews. Are you able to give an account of what happened on Friday evening, how it unfolded?
According to the information that we've been located, I'm sorry, they didn't hear you. So the question is whether or not we can give an account of what has happened. Like was said earlier today, this horrible, unjustified killing was done in front of the children. The children are the witnesses. These children have been through a lot. And certainly we don't want to put any pressure on the children because we want them to have the opportunity to grieve and also explain what has happened to their mother. Those stories are in development. And we have found out so far that there was an iPad. I'm sure you heard that from Sheriff Woods today. Whereas it belonged to one of the children. And there was a situation between Susan and the children. One of the children were hit with a pair of skates. I'm sure Sheriff Woods explained that today as well. You heard that today. And of course, AJ, Ms. Owens, went to see why. She knocked on the door, according to the information I've been given, once. When there was no answer, she simply replied, "I know you hear me." There was no altercation. At the time that was said, the shot rang, killing Miss Owens in front of her children. That's all the story that I have at this far until we get more developments. I'm only taking questions from members of the press at this time.
Do you believe that? About a demand for justice and that step one would be an arrest. What does complete justice look like to you?
A conviction.
Well, complete justice is, first of all...
Wait a minute. Okay, so here's my question with that. Now, if that is true, what the story has been told, I know this is like the day before she got arrested or whatnot. AJ went over there, knocked on the door, and said, "I know you hear me," and the lady shot just like that. Then here's my question is, why wasn't Susan arrested earlier? I understand they got to stand your ground, but if she knocked on the door and just said, "I know you heard me," I don't know how you could even consider that as a threat. You know, unless she said behind it, "I know you hear me, you don't come to the door, I'm finna kick this motherfucker down," something like that, then I can understand that. But if she just said, "I know you hear me," and she shot through the door, then it makes me wonder why Susan wasn't arrested earlier. Y'all still had to wait to comb stuff out? I mean, I don't know. Like I told you, I'm ignorant to the law, so I don't know. That's crazy.
Taking care of his responsibilities and doing his due diligence. He makes an arrest, comes first. And after that arrest, he needs to do a complete and thorough investigation. The state attorney also has equal duty and obligations, thank you, when it comes to defining what justice means. And so once we get the information over to the state attorney, it's the state attorney's job to prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. And so once we are able to get the prosecution and everything that comes before that, we want a conviction. Because this cannot go away. These children are never going to forget what has happened to their mother. What are we as a community going to do about that?
The worst has already happened to them.
As the family's attorney, do you believe probable cause has already been established?
I do. But that's not my job to determine. That is Sheriff Wood's job.
You need to get up on. That's why we got you here, because we tired of this. It's not the first time. Don't tell me.
And that's why we're meeting here today, to make sure that we have the community support, to make sure that not only me as their attorney, but also the entire community is demanding justice. This is Sheriff Woods' county. We are members of this county. We all need to come together in solidarity to let him know. Call him. Tell him what you feel. He's a public official. He can hear you. He may not want to. But he has taken on this job, and so he has to answer those hard questions. And that's how we feel.
My daughter, my grandchildren's mother, was shot and killed with her 9-year-old son standing next to her.
Mama look kind of young. Wow. What was she doing to take care of herself?
She had no weapon. She posed no imminent threat to anyone. When we say it takes a village, it was a village that raised my baby girl, and I am grateful to each and every one. It is now going to take a village for these children. What I'm asking is for justice. Justice for my daughter, Ajika Chantrell Owens. I am asking for justice for Isaac Williams. Justice for Israel Owens. Justice for Africa Owens. Justice for Titus Owens. Justice for your family, for your children, for your loved ones. Justice for America. To God be the glory. I know justice will prevail. This is not over. My Father in heaven will see to it that these children, our family, our community, will receive justice and provide for this family, our family, your family. Thank you.
When you met Ajika, her smile will light up the room. Ajika adored her children. She lived, eat, and breathed for them day in and day out. She made the sacrifices as a single mom to be there for them in each and every stages of their lives. She would never want to miss a football game, a practice, cheerleading. she was there. They were her world. They were her everything. And now, because of this senseless act, they are now without her. Let it be known, I happen to live in the same apartment as Adjika. A year before, I moved out of that apartment and she moved in a year later. My own children played in the same field as the children who played in the field now. Never was an issue, never was a problem. The landowner or the property overseer told the kids that they were able to play there as long as they cleaned up after themselves. This woman had no right as a tenant to tell these children that they could not be children and play.
I truly wish that we were here for different circumstances, but what we're here for is a sign of the time and the sign of living in Florida. I stand before you today as the president of the Marion County branch of the NAACP. It is time for us to reawake and be responsible and community conscious of not just our own, but our neighbors. The issues that we have on today and what we want to declare, decree, is that we demand a full and fair, transparent, and swift investigation into the death of this mother. The truth is, we've gotten to the point where black folks are almost living in a day where we're afraid to go outside. We are in a constant state of fear or constantly on guard for everything we do. This is our children and adults deserve to live in a world where they do not have to live in fear of their neighbors, of the people that live next door to you. You should not ever have to be afraid that if you go and speak, question, or ask, that you can just be shot through a door. This case.
Okay, I'm wondering when he speak on that, is he speaking in general, afraid of going outside in general, or is he trying to say, being afraid of white people? I wish he would be a little more transparent in what he's saying, but I think I'm getting what he's saying. But here's my thing. I agree with what he's saying, but see, if he just making it the notion just because you stating it to a white person, then I'm going to disagree with that, because the rapid rate that's going on now, with us black folks killing each other over the dumbest shit, it makes people do want to stay in the house and make you scared to go outside, so you speaking on that as a whole, then I agree with you. But if you speaking on that just as a one race, you shouldn't be scared of one race. Well, now I'm going to disagree with you on that, because you cut on the news, who do you mainly see doing this fuck shit? It's us. They just keeping it real. It's us. Okay? Anytime you call on the news and you call in here and drive-by shootings and little baby girls, little baby boys getting shot because these knuckleheads out here spraying people's houses up because they mad, probably because they got their ass whooped or whatever. They come back and shooting and don't give a damn to children in the yard. Then, you got to call that straight down the middle, So, but I agree with you to an extent, but you not being totally transparent with what you're saying, though. All right, but that's my take on it, what he's saying. So I don't know.
It's really reminiscent of the April shooting of a 16-year-old Ralph Yarl, who was shot when he accidentally knocked on the wrong door. It is a tragic reminder of the fact that it is simply not safe to be black in America. We live in a state where our truth is uncomfortable for others, so now we're not allowed to share our truth. The NAACP stands with this family, and we call for an immediate, fair and impartial investigation into this incident. We also seek accountability and justice. And the same ferociousness that is used when it's one of us, we like to see it right now. I stand here today one more time to share. We support the sheriff in doing what's right. We just request that he do it right now.
Our state is creating a situation where guns are everywhere. A few weeks ago, I reported in our membership meeting that it's going to be like the Wild Wild West in Florida. And they're going to kill us right and left unless something is done about this situation. Now, this young lady that was killed last week, absolutely no reason for that kind of murder.
Unjustified.
And listen, we stand here on Tuesday afternoon and no one has been arrested. Everyone knows who did this. And as we stand demanding justice in our community, we need to know why the sheriff and the officers of the Marion County Sheriff Department have not arrested. We understand that there's a legal process, etc., etc. A few weeks ago, when the black children killed the white children, they were marching us before the cameras like runaway slaves. And here they know she didn't even run away. And she needs to be arrested today. She needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And as a community, we demand that kind of accountability. Ocala, Marion County, stand up for justice and for what is right in our community. Listen, what this lady did is a very bad thing. She killed this young woman by shooting her through a door. If this isn't stopped, you're going to be walking down the street and they're going to shoot you through the window.
Once again, here we are dealing with a situation that's truly unnecessary. A situation that should not have happened anywhere in America, but truly not here in Ocala. But we're here because these acts are prevalent, time and time again. They're prevalent because now we have laws that people can hide behind and use to veil their actions and make them seem as if they're legal when we know they're illegal. This situation is horrible because if I had committed this situation on Friday evening, I'd have already been in jail. If any one of us that's standing here right now had committed these same actions, we'd have already been in jail. Justice would have been swift and the wheels of justice would have rolled on extremely fast. We're asking, for justice for these 4 little children. We need justice for this mother. We believe, and we've heard from the sheriff, that there is an investigation going on right now, but we expect this investigation to be thorough, complete, and transparent. Nothing needs to be swept under the rug in this investigation. We need full transparency. And as a community, we need you to pray. We need you to support this family, encourage them, because this is difficult for us all. But I want to leave with this. The same justice that we would have gotten, that they get on the other side of town, we expect the same justice in West Ocala. The same justice that happens on the east side of Pine Street needs to happen on the west side of Pine Street. The same justice that those boys got a few weeks ago. We need the same justice this week, today, tonight. I'm calling for our state's attorney to do the job. I'm calling for our law enforcement officers to do the job and make sure that justice is held for this family and this parent.
Good afternoon, may I say that, for manners' sake. But nothing good has been taking place on this side of town. We have grown to a place where justice for us, we're almost at a point where we feel like they're not going to do anything. We've almost grown numb to how they treat us. When we get justice, we are almost shocked ourselves because we got it. But I want to say on a spiritual note, Christ came for things like this. When we're not treated right, somebody needs to speak. When we're not done right, someone needs to do something. And I'm glad to see all of us here this afternoon.
I agree with you when you say this, sir, but here's the thing, though. You got a lot of neighborhoods, I don't know about y'all's, but you got a lot of neighborhoods that got the no snitching rules. So you got people who participate in the no snitching rule, then what do you expect the results to be? Okay? That's what I got to say about that. I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying, but if you got everybody who participates, or majority of the people in your neighborhood that participate in the no snitching rule, you're going to continue to get the same results over and over again. All right? Because nobody wants to be labeled as a snitch. All right? Powerful message, but, you know, messages like that go on a lot of deaf ears. Now, we can get people to come out there and no snitching rule, then, hey, maybe you'll see a lot of improvement. You probably would. As long as you got people who want to keep hush-hush on shit because they don't want to be labeled as a snitch, you're going to continue to have those kind of problems.
Which means that we can leave where we are to do something. And this church should have been full of folk who are tired of being sick and tired. And I want to say this to all of us. Yes, we need the Lord. Yes, we need the leaders. But we sure enough need the Lord. I say we sure enough need the Lord. Because there's some powers that be that are blocking our way sometimes. And we need to learn how to go back to the landmark and get a little higher than what we have to help push us across. We've got to go back. And the churches have got to get involved. Every time there was a great movement, the church was involved. Every time justice was done, the church was involved. We have to wake the sleeping giant and get the churches involved and let us come together, because yes, we have faith, but faith without work is dead. Amen. May God bless and may God keep us all.
My first time hearing that right there. My condolences to the mom. And man, that lady looks young. Wow, she looks young. It's all outside. But other than that, though, I mean, again, I think it's a powerful message from everybody. You know, and I agree with majority of the stuff that was being said. But with the last guy, like I said, you know, you got to know snitching rule, then, you know, what do you expect? There's nothing going to get done. You got people who see stuff and won't say anything. Or you got people that see it and join in the fray in doing the dirty deeds and still won't say anything. Because, again, the code is no snitching. So nobody's saying anything, then, you know, I mean, I don't know what improvement is going to happen, you know. So if people, what everybody always saying lately, you know, you see something, say something, that's when improvement will start to happen right there. But that's only until people start saying something. When they see something, the improvement will begin to happen. All right. But in that though, again, powerful message from all of you who spoke on that. You know, it's still a sad situation, and with everybody, it shouldn't have gotten to that point where somebody had to get shot and lose their life. All right. So, with that being said, I'm looking at this article right here. And it says, a Florida woman arrested after fatally shooting neighbor over playing children. That's how they titled it. Over playing children. Florida woman accused of fatally shooting her neighbor last week in the violent culmination of what the sheriff described as a 2.5-year feud, was arrested Tuesday. Is it possible you could be beefing with a neighbor for 2.5 years? Is that even possible? Anyway, a 2.5-year feud was arrested Tuesday, Marion County Sheriff's Office said. Susan, who is 58, who is white, was arrested on charges of manslaughter with a firearm, culpable of negligence, battery, and 2 counts of assault in the death of A.J. Owens, a black mother of 4, Sheriff Billy Wood said in a statement. Authorities came under pressure to arrest and charge the white woman who fired through her front door and killed a black neighbor. Okay, in a case that has put Florida's divisive stand your ground law back into the spotlight. When interviewed, Susan claimed that she acted in self-defense and that Owens had been trying to break down her door prior to her discharging her firearm. Susan also claimed that Owens had come after her in the past and had previously attacked her through their investigation. Including obtaining the statement of eyewitnesses, detectives were able to establish that Susan's actions were not justifiable under Florida law, a statement from the sheriff's office said. About 3 dozen, mostly black protesters gathered outside the Marion County Judicial Center to demand that the shooter be arrested in the country's latest flashpoint over race and gun violence. The chief prosecutor, state attorney William Glasson, met with the protesters and urged patience while the investigation continues. Owens, 35, was killed in a Friday night shooting. Was said the woman lived in the rolling hills south of Ocala, or North Florida City, that is the heart of the state's horse country. Woods has said Monday that detectives were working with the state attorney's office and must investigate possible self-defense claim before they can move forward with any possible criminal charges. The sheriff pointed out that because of the stand your ground law, he can't legally make an arrest unless he can prove the shooter did not act in self-defense. Okay? Oh, excuse me, y'all. Oh, shit. Excuse me. And I'm leave it at that. I mean, it's more on here, but I'm leaving it at that. But here's what I say at the end of the day with this. Like they said in what they said right there, the village, you need to bring it back. Bring back the village, okay? The village kept a lot of people out of trouble. The village kept a lot of people safe. And if people can work together and become their village again, we'll probably have lesser problems than what we having or facing in the era that we having today. All right? And also to the youngins, because this my message really is to y'all. Y'all got children. Man, look. Instill in them. Stay in their lane. What I mean by stay in their lane, you got a yard, tell them stay in their yard. Don't go nowhere near their next door, anything. Tell them to stay in their yard, stay in y'all yard, stay on y'all property. Don't go nowhere else, all right? And as a matter of fact, maybe I need to sit outside with them as they play so nothing like this will happen to your children. I'm talking to you, the young generation. I'm talking to y'all. You know, because I know a lot of y'all be sitting there letting these children go out and play while y'all sitting in the house smoking your weed and doing whatever you're doing, and just let the children stay out there and do whatever the hell they want to do. It's time for that shit to stop, all right? It's time for that to stop. Outside, put the weed down. You can smoke it later. Put the weed down or whatever. Watch your children play. Make sure they're not going too far off where nothing can happen to them, all right? And again, if you got neighbors like this, hey, stay far away from them. Don't fuck with them. Hell, don't even say hey to them. Man, just leave them folks the hell alone, all right? And if necessary, you know, hey, move, all right? I mean, but I'm not saying that where you move to next, that the neighbor's going to be better than the neighbors at this place, you know. But you know for a fact that this neighbor you can't get along with, you know, if you need to move because things getting too hot, then yeah, go ahead and move. Go ahead and move, you know. I mean, your safety and your sanity come first before anything. Your safety and your sanity, especially them babies, they come before anything. All right. So yeah, bring back that '80s love, and tell them, hey, don't y'all go nowhere. Y'all stay right here. Don't move past the driveway. Don't even go to the end of the driveway. All right, stay in the middle of the driveway. Don't go nowhere else. Don't go nobody else's yard. Stay in your own yard. Even if one of them tell you to come here, nah, you come get me. I'll go over there and see what they want. Don't you go over there. All right? Don't you go over there. I don't care if you know the neighbors. We got to know them. If one of them tell you, hey, come here, go get it to your daddy, no, you come get your daddy, and daddy go over there and get it. Somebody say get it to your mama, go get your mama go over there and get it. Don't you go over there, because I don't want this to happen to you. I don't want a situation like this to happen to you. All right? So, if I keep you away from over there, whatever happens is going to go down between me and the other person. You won't be nowhere around. All right? So you stay in the yard and play. I'll go get wherever they telling me to go over there and get, and vice versa. You don't need to go over there. You don't need to go over there. Stay in the yard and play. All right? So to the young generation, let this be a lesson. Just keep them in your safe spot. Keep me your safe spot, all right? And if there is any problems going on, you know what I'm saying, do not bring them with you to solve the problem. Go there by yourself, all right? Don't bring them to it with you. Go by yourself, all right? Because Lord knows if you get shot, then the child gets shot, it'd be a whole shit show then, okay? And I wish AJ had not brought that girl. I wish AJ had not brought that 9-year-old there with her when it happened, and he saw that. What went down like that, all right? So that's all I got to say about this. You know, I mean, there's nothing else I can say that y'all probably ain't already seeing yourselves, all right? There's nothing more I can say. Sad situation. Now, children is without a mother. This fool right here done lost her freedom. She lost her freedom. Well, not quite yet. You know, they just got her, but they still doing an investigation, I guess, to find out if they're going to be able to keep her or whatnot, you know, but we'll just see what happens, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a safe morning. Keep your children safe. Thank you for listening. Y'all can hear it in my voice, see it in my face. I ain't gonna sleep here. I'm finna carry my ass to bed, all right? And love y'all. Y'all take care. Catch y'all next time. Peace out.